All right, welcome to Rivers of Living Water Ministry. We're gonna be having the children, having a conversation with them concerning the lockdown. We know that they haven't been in school since the mid week of March, and there's a lot of research that shows that because of the lockdown, kids have been feeling a certain way, and we cannot ignore their feelings. And because of that, we would like, as a ministry, to kind of embodies everything with children, with the social aspect, the spiritual aspect, the body aspect, and we would like to include the children as well. So if you have your kids, you would like for them to sit down and hear what these kids about to say about how they're feeling about the lockdown, the pandemic, in their own words. You are welcome to do so. And at this time, before we start, we're gonna have a word of prayer. Joshua will be leading the prayer, and we have with us Nehemiah, and we're gonna have with us as well Neftali. And I would like for you guys to say hello before we do anything.
Hi.
All right. Now Joshua will be leading the prayer for us before we start.
Okay. Bow your heads and close your eyes. Thank you, Father God, for everything you've done for us, O Lord. Thank you for blessing us, O Lord. Thank you for putting us under your holy wing, O Lord. Thank you for letting us be fortunate enough, O Lord, to live under a roof, O Lord. May we continue being blessed, O Lord. May you bless, O Lord, forgive us of our sins, O Lord, and help us forgive others, O Lord, of what they've done to us, O Lord. O Lord, I thank you for everything that you've continued doing for my family, O Lord, that we have a successful ministry, O Lord. In the name of Jesus, O Lord, I pray, amen.
Amen. And now, before we continue, Nehemiah will be leading a song while Joshua is going to be playing the keyboard. Sit down and enjoy while you're home.
You made a way when our backs were against the wall, as it looked as if it was over. You made a way as our backs were against the wall, as it looked as if it was over. You made a way, and we're standing here only because you made a way. You moved mountains, you caused walls to fall with your power, with all miracles. There is nothing we're standing here only because you made us. And we're standing here only because you made a way.
Bravo, bravo. We are still here. It's because God has a purpose for us and He made a way. And we thank you for already here. At this moment, we'll be asking the kids questions. As we mentioned prior, um, it shows that there's a lot of kids who are falling onto depression, and they having a lot of they having hard time. Even places where the lockdown is already over or a little bit more loose, they still having trouble adjusting, and it's happening around the world. It's not only in America, but it's around the world where I mean it's the first time in history we hear something like this, and us as adults and parents, we are affected by it, and we think that the kids are affected as well. But unless we speak to them to have their point of view about it, we might not know or know very little. At this time, I'm asking Annie for you to give your full name, and also um, you're gonna do the same. I don't wanna do it for you guys, but I would like for you to introduce yourself at this moment. Your full name, your name, and your last name all together.
And I'm middle name?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I am Nehemiah Jasmine Jean Pierre.
Hello, I'm Joshua Egan Jean Pierre.
And we thank you again for sitting and listening to us. At this moment, guys, as you're here, you know exactly because I told you in advance that we were going to have this conversation about the lockdown. I would like to know, in your own point of view, how do you feel right now? How do you guys feel? How do you feel?
It feels unusual because I haven't stayed in the house for a long time. Usually we go to school, but it's usual to stay home like on Saturdays and Sundays. But like we're able to go out before this lockdown.
Hmm. And now that the lockdown, how do you feel?
I mean, it kind of feels weird because staying home all the time and not like being able to go anywhere without wearing a mask feels like uncomfortable and stuff.
Hmm.
And like being home and only able to being able to go in your like front yard and your backyard is kind of uncomfortable because you were able to go to the parks before this, and we were able to go on slides and stuff, but now everything has caution tape.
Okay. And Joshua, how do you feel?
Feel trapped, very
Hmm.
trapped in the house. Some feels awkward and unusual because can't even go to Chicken Shack without wearing a mask. You know, they have the sign up that says you can't be served if you don't wear the mask, and it's just unusual.
Hmm.
It's something that I mean, it's just it's something that's supposed to happen, but there's been like riots about it. People have been protesting against it, and then I just look at these people like, well, what are you doing?
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's
So,
my
what do you
standpoint.
guys think about the mask that you're wearing? Do you know exactly why you're wearing the mask?
Yes, I know.
What is it for?
I mean, it's for that you can be protected, and when you sneeze and cough, it doesn't get on other people, and
Hmm.
it purifies the air around you.
Hmm.
And also, I just wear it so I don't touch my face as much, because you know, touching your face is very dangerous at these times,
Hmm.
especially coronavirus COVID-19. When
Hmm.
you touch your nose, your face, your eyes, it's very dangerous.
Hmm. No, we have another guest, and we would like for her to introduce herself and tell us the same thing. How do you feel about about the lockdown right now? Your name, your full name?
Hi, my name is Neftali Jean Pierre, and I don't really have a problem with the pandemic. The only problem that I have is that I can't go out and buy sneakers. I'm very antisocial and I don't really talk to people, so I don't really have a problem with it.
Okay. One person said they don't have, she doesn't have a problem with it because the only problem she has is because she cannot go out to buy sneakers. So what do you think about the mask that you are wearing? Nehemiah first.
I think about the mask as uncomfortable because usually, like the air outside, like you can breathe it without the mask, but like like while you're wearing the mask, you have to like breathe the air that comes out of your mouth,
Hmm. And what is the purpose of the mask?
like to protect you from the germs that can be flowing in the air
Hmm.
and from dust and stuff,
Hmm.
and like when people are coughing and sneezing,
Hmm.
and you keep away from them.
It keeps you away from getting germs.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Neftali? What do you think about the mask? What is its purpose?
The purpose of the mask is for the bacteria that's in the air, but I'm going to tell people to be very cautious with if you wear the mask for too long, you can suffocate yourself with your own, like when you cover your nose and your mouth, you can suffocate yourself and pass out. I've known people that have passed out from the mask. So yeah.
So
And there's two different masks. I think the other mask, the bigger one,
there's a surgical mask and
yeah,
there's a I-95
yeah,
mask.
the I-95 mask is way better than the surgical mask.
So do you know the difference? What is the difference between the two?
The surgical mask is just to cover yourself, like
Mm-hmm.
so nothing falls out your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the N95 mask is to cover yourself from bacteria.
Mm-hmm. But it's suggested that the I-95 must be worn by mostly healthcare providers, people who are in close contact with none of coronavirus. It's not for everyone. If you just like me and you, we go into a market or outside, it's not really required. It's mostly for people who are in close contact with people that they know already have the virus. So it's not really a problem if you wear the surgical mask because it's not gonna really affect you.
Yeah, but it kind of depends where you are, because the the
Put
coronavirus,
it so they can hear you.
the virus could spread through different strands. Like there's a strand where you only get a fever, you get some
Mm-hmm.
short of breath, and there's another strand where you could get it today and tomorrow you're dead.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I suggest the M95 mask more, depending on where you go, mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that they should start offering I-95 masks to the public
Mm-hmm.
because
Why do you think so?
it's more protection, and it just makes no sense that it's only given to certain health, even though they're going through more trouble than us to protect to help quarantine
Mm-hmm.
patients.
Mm-hmm.
People who are suffering from corona. But yeah, I-95 should be given out to the public.
Okay. Very good. Now I'm gonna ask, how do you feel before you used to have teachers in this school where it was a one-to-one teaching and now everything is virtual learning? How do you feel about the change? Where do you guys see yourself? What do you think?
Kind of like it feels uncomfortable to me because before you could like raise your hand in front of your teacher and she could pick on you, and and you would be able to sit next to your classmates, and
Mm-hmm.
now the teachers have to like text you,
Mm-hmm.
and now at least we have like this app called a WebEx. We are able to have meetings together. We are able to have meetings together. We could see each other like virtual, but not like um in real life.
So what do you think about it? How is it the same learning or different?
It's kind of different
Mm-hmm.
because it's different because your teachers like your teachers were able to like write on boards and stuff, but instead now you have to write on paper and stuff by yourself. And before this COVID-19, we were able to talk to our classmates and help them.
Mhm.
Like even though your teachers were not there, if we had substitutes, we were able to help our classmates.
Mhm. So now you can't really see them.
Yeah.
Okay. Joshua.
Um, it's kind of ironic in the fact that I've seen many people that dislike being at school and I don't want to be in school. I don't want to be in school. Most of them are like, "Oh wow, I want to go back to school." You know, it's kind of ironic that seeing people like that. Also, I miss my teachers. I miss seeing them. And digital classes can be overwhelming because it's like more work that I've done at home and learned about at home than with a teacher that can support you. Well, yeah, that's where WebEx comes in and is way better than what we're doing currently.
Okay. Neftali.
I think the work is overwhelming, and the wasn't very prepared for this. I think if the school was more prepared and aware of it, the assignments and the website Canvas would be more organized well. I said that I think that if the teachers and the people that made Canvas, like IT and stuff, were aware that we're going to quarantine, the website would be updated well and prepared for it. Cause right now, like, there's a lot of mishaps that happen, like on Canvas. I could be on Canvas and Canvas was shut down for a few minutes or a couple of days.
Mhm.
So I think that if they were more prepared,
Mhm.
the um the virtual learning would be better. But it works for me. It's just some, like, it's very hard to contact your teachers through Canvas because they take a very long time to text because they have a lot of students. It's not only me. They
Mhm.
have so many students that they could take over some hours or some days to text.
So does it feel frustrating or of the future, or you think that it's something that you guys are learning and you're gonna get through it and it's gonna get better?
It's kind of frustrating. I learned better in school than on virtual learning on the website.
So do you feel frustrating about it?
A little.
A little. Can you elaborate a little bit? What is a little mean?
Like math. So I need help with math, and math, it's like I have to see it. I have to see examples for it to be done for me to be able to understand. And for me to be having to learn it on my own is not very easy.
It's not very easy. Okay. So that's where the frustrations come.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Joshua?
I mean, it's gonna get better. I believe that in the future, um, this quarantine situation will be more prepared. It's gonna be better. We're gonna be better for the future and things to come, just such as this quarantine situation. If it comes again, we'll be more prepared for it as a country
Hmm.
and as people. You know, it's something that we
That
can get
we're
over.
learning together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sort of feel the frustration that Nephew's talking about. Yeah, I feel the frustration because of how they you receive lots more work on the computer than you would in the classroom because of how unorganized they were.
Hmm.
Yeah, they weren't prepared for it.
Your view.
Um, I think the same thing as Joshua, but I also think that they'll find a cure for the coronavirus, and people can stop worrying about like losing someone anymore in this coronavirus, because if they find like I want people to give fundraisers and find a cure give fundraisers for masks and find cures, because if we don't find a cure, there might be less people in like countries
Hmm.
and states and stuff.
So what do you think about all that? Like the unknown, since there's no vaccine for it or there's no cure yet. Do you feel scared, or How do you feel?
I don't feel that scared, but I feel scared when I'm around people that like come outside and that like are not used to our surroundings. So like I usually have my space bubble like that. I keep away from some people, and like I stay close to the people that like stay in the house.
Is that a good thing or no? Or a good thing or a bad thing?
Like it's like a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What about you, Joshua? How do you feel? Do you feel scared that there's no cure yet or there's no vaccine for the virus?
Well, I'm not necessarily scared. I'm more of careful around certain people that I know, like they cough a lot, they sneeze a lot, and I'm just like, wait, let me keep my distance because you know, COVID-19, you can't. There's no cure. If you go to a hospital, you're more likely to catch it and die, and you only live once.
Okay. How do you feel? Do you feel scared or you the same?
I'm I'm I don't feel scared. I'm not, but I just feel more careful, more
Yeah.
protected, more keeping my distance.
Okay. What about you, Neftali? How do
Um,
you feel?
I'm not scared of the virus. That don't find a cure and we'll be on lockdown for more. Like this month, we were supposed to release from lockdown, but they pushed it to June 13th.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm not very scared. I'm just scared for the country and that they're not prepared and they haven't found a cure for the virus.
Okay. All right. Next question. Next question. Mom and dad were sick, and you guys were the one taking care of us. So, how did you feel at that moment? Okay, it's gonna come to you.
I felt a little sad because I didn't want anything to happen to you guys. So I mean, even though Daddy told me to keep a distance, I still went close to help you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned how to cook this month, so if anything happens, I can still cook if nobody's here.
I was shocked, to be honest. I was very shocked
Mm-hmm.
cuz we didn't go to any hospitals. I was like, "Wow, where they get it?" I was like, "Oh, wow, the stuff I'm seeing in the news is happening in my house." I'm just so shocked and surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I still went close to you even though I wasn't supposed to, you know, going in your room, giving you breakfast and stuff. You know, mom. You know, mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I was very shocked.
Were you scared that something was gonna happen to us? Or
Very. I was very scared that
okay,
mom and dad's lives were in danger.
in jeopardy. Okay. What?
Um, I didn't show any emotion, but I was very scared. Like every day, I would make sure to take care of you guys extra because I would see on the news how parents would be doing fine one day, then the next day the kids wake up to go check on their parents and they don't wake up. And that was always my fear. Like I would always have that fear that one day I would go into your rooms and shake you guys to wake up and you guys wouldn't wake up. And mostly after you guys were cured from the virus, people that I've known were just dying. And
Mm,
I was like, wow, that could have been my parents.
wow. All right. There's one question. There's one of our viewers who have a question, and the question is, what changes do you think you will see when you go back to school? What changes do you think you'll see, guys, when you go back to school?
I feel when we go back to school, the desks will be apart away from each other because our desks are close together. So maybe they'll be 2, 3 inches apart because you know you have to keep a distance, and you're gonna probably have to like keep hand sanitizer with you at all times, and tissues and stuff because at lunch we're not able to like go to the bathrooms as soon as we go in because we're supposed to go to the bathrooms like right after class. So I recommend you keep hand sanitizers in your pockets, or yeah, if you have a wallet that your parents give you, like like a tiny purse, you put the hand sanitizer in and a tiny tissue packet. And I also think that
The changes that will take place when you go back.
um students are not probably not going to be allowed to work close to each other anymore. We're not going to be allowed to work in big groups. We're not going to be allowed to work in big groups together anymore. Like we were able to sit in circles close to each other, but probably we're not going to be able to do that. In morning meetings, we were able to sit like close to each other, but probably we're going to have to sit in our desks now.
What about Joshua? What changes you think that will take place when you go back to school?
One of the changes that I thought of automatically right off the bat after you told us the viewers' questions is more hand sanitizer dispensers. There's like a few that I've seen. There's one by the principal's office. There's one by the lunchroom. You know, there's one before you get the lunch. But now there's gonna be like way more. When you walk into the classroom, there's gonna be someone serving you hand sanitizer like it's someone's breakfast. There's just gonna be like, yep, hand sanitizer, hand sanitizer, hand sanitizer, yep, hand sanitizer, and more distant classroom. You know how classrooms people are more together. You know, cause school. You know, people like to be social during school, cause there's other people. You might have something in common, right? Now it's going to be more distance, more people not talking to each other, more backing up, and also they're going to be more sanitary because one of my teachers, I've heard that McManus, they had their janitors wash the doorknobs, and that's something very smart. That's something very smart, and
That you think that will be part of the change?
yes, it's something that will be integrated.
And don't touch the doors.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, nephew? What changes you think take place?
The schools will be cleaned way more better. Cause
Louder.
the schools will be cleaned way more better. Cause I know a week before they found out that there were a few cases of COVID in New Jersey. Every hour, every 2 hours, or before a period, the janitors would go inside the bathroom and clean up the bathrooms real quick. And there would actually be a limited amount of people being able to go in the bathroom. Like we would have to sign in and stuff. So yeah, there would be a limit of people that be able to go in the bathroom. As Nene and Joshua said, the classrooms will be spaced out. Maybe even in lunch. Maybe they'll make more lunch periods so not many people will be surrounded together and bunched up.
All right. So I have some more. We'll leave because I wanted to know how you guys feel about the whole lockdown. This is a subject that's been around the world, and it's very important that we speak to our children about what's going on right now because in our head, in our mind, because we are providing for them, we're always on the go, which is very important. However, we need to sit down and speak to them and see if they have any frustration. How do they think? What do they think? What are they thinking? I posted, there's a post that I posted on my Facebook page this morning where there was a young man, 17 years old, who took his life in a park, and he wouldn't know it's because of his grade. He felt as though his grade is gonna be affected because this is something new. He's not in the classroom and he doesn't know how he was gonna do. And because of that, I mean, even before that, I created this moment to see how the kids feel, even though we talk to them, but for them to share their feelings and for you parents to know that your children are affected by what's going on right now. They're not immune to it, they are affected. It's really, um, I advise you to kind of sit down with them and talk to them and see what they are thinking around this time right now. It's very, very important. In next questions that I have for you guys, we know that school is closed right now. What do you think about your grade? Do you think your grades are affected, or you think your grades will be the same or less because of what's going on?
I think our grades will be affected because, like, there's like a percentage of the chance that you miss assignments because at first you wouldn't know if you were supposed to go on it or something like that, and like there would be stuff that you have to like re-give because sometimes it doesn't like that the iPads or the computers don't want to work.
Mhm.
And you might like not have the chargers to do stuff in, because you need like the teachers in the school like give you chargers, but what if you lose it and you don't have any to
Well,
charge
that's
it?
responsibility.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Joshua, do you think your grade will be affected because you're not in the classroom, or it's gonna be the same or better?
I do believe our grades will be affected because in the beginning the package leading, I was just wow. After I realized that you had to do the rest of it online, I was like, wow, it's summer after I finished these packets. I've went through the first week, finished the package, breezed through, right, and then after that I realized, wow, there's more. And I realized that there was more after checking on Canvas. Then I FaceTimed one of my friends. I don't know if his name would like to be said. I don't know. I FaceTimed one of my friends, and they said, "Man, you those packets, there's more that you have to do online." I was just like, "What? What?" And I had to do the rest on online, so I was just playing catch up, and I caught up. But yeah, my grades were. I'm not sure if they were heavily affected or not, but they were affected.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that my grades were affected in a good way and a bad way, cause in a good way because the assignments count as more, like before the assignments would count as classroom assignments, but now some of the assignments, like regular classroom homework assignments, are counted as quiz assignments, and when you hand them in on time, your grade goes higher because and also it's affected in a bad way because the way that the teachers assign them, sometimes they don't assign them on time, so they might count them as late, not knowing that it was their fault.
Okay. There's a question online. It says that what would you guys tell those kids who don't care about the virus? What would be your advice for those? There's a lot of children. I mean, there's a lot of growing up too who don't care about what the virus, the effect of the virus. What would you tell them? What would be your advice for them?
If it hasn't affected them, do what you want, but until it gets to you, that's all I have to say.
Okay, what is your advice to them?
I mean,
Like, what should they do to make sure that they take precaution?
wear a mask and gloves and just be cautious of who you're around.
Mhm. And what else do we do?
Wash your hands and don't touch your face.
Very
And
good.
your clothes, like when you go home, take off your clothes right away in the doorstep.
Um, for those who don't believe COVID-19, I don't know why you will, because there's a bunch of cases of people dying, so this not very common sense. Um, but I advise you to wash your hands, wear a mask, wear gloves, cause there's no hospital at times. That's what people fail to understand. There's no hospitals. Hospitals, it's not thing. And if you go to a hospital, you have a more likely chance of catching coronavirus and dying. No hospitals at these times. So wash your hands, wear masks, protect yourselves, use hand sanitizers, keep hand sanitizer on you because I know hand sanitizer costs a lot. Hand sanitizer costs a lot more than it's supposed to, but these times, companies are trying to make money. So, get their hand sanitizer.
Very good.
Yeah, and I I would suggest like from what Nephi said, as soon as you come home, take off your clothes and go shower because you don't want like anything to happen, and make sure like to wear hats or something to cover your hair, and also I suggest like you wash your clothes every week because you don't like want it to get dirty, and like even though it's already dirty, you don't want like anything happening to it because like germs can spread throughout clothes too. And also, I suggest that you go like as soon like you should go shopping too because the prices of food is going higher. Even like stuff could be like $2 before this, and then now it's like $4 or $5, like more than the usual price, because people like are rushing to the stores and buying stuff, and the companies need to keep on giving to the stores, and there won't be anything like left if they don't put the prices higher.
As Nene said, they're raising the prices because of manufacturers not getting enough resources for for the foods and goods that you usually buy on the daily basis. You know, shop and stop. You gotta go quick. You gotta go quick. Get out, cause you don't know. You don't know. And they raise the prices because companies are trying to make money for more materials, resources, and stuff like that.
Nephew, you have anything to add? Anything to add? Okay.
But I do have something to say for like other kids that like I would ask everyone to pray for the kids that school were their only escape space from abusive homes and their only way to eat. Like some kids went to school mostly for the purpose of how their household was and how toxic it was, and how school and sports were the only escape. So I would ask for everybody to pray for them and for how they don't have food. Yeah.
All right. So you said you're gonna pray for those school where an escape um, way for them, from abuse and stuff. For parents who are listening right now, what would you say to them, for the ones who have little children and they are affected the same way as we are right now? What would you say to them to do with their kids in order for their kids, to remain active, not to be depressed, or not to be so sad, for the kids not to be too sad? What would you say to them for the parents to do? What would be your suggestion?
I would say for the parents to do is give like make their kids happy. Like even though you have to go shopping, you have other things to do because of this. Like at least take some time in your day to spend time with your kids, because you don't know what can happen the next day, and you might regret like not spending time with your kids and being able to communicate with them, because like they need someone to talk to. Like if you're an only child, you need someone to talk to. Or like if your brothers or sisters are doing something and they don't want to talk because like they're older, or even if you're older and your younger siblings don't want to talk, I mean, you have your parents to run to.
Okay. So you're suggesting that time with the children
Yeah.
to make them feel love and care for, not only providing them with food.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Joshua? What do you think?
Um, I feel as though parents should start getting closer to your kids and support them emotionally, because if they're committing suicide, they're committing it for a reason, and you gotta like talk them out of it because it's your job. You're the parent. You're the child. Also, spend this time to get closer to the children. If you're a parent, you probably see that your kids are playing a lot. It's because they have nothing else to do. So go, grab a controller. It can mean a lot to them. Just grab a controller, start playing with them. Mortal Kombat. That's a two-player game. You can just grab a controller, start playing with them. And spend time. You know, it's the little things that are bigger when you put them in hindsight in a child's perspective.
I would say for the parents to just spend time with your kids more, because this time is like lockdown, so you guys really don't have anything to do. So just spend time with your kids and support them emotionally. Mostly if they don't understand what's going on, sit down and explain to them what's going on and what's happening.
Very good. And what do you think? What do you guys in your own? What is depression or depression to the point where a kid goes and commits suicide? What do you think it is?
I think depression is something where um, kids are like in their own dark bubble, and they don't want to talk to anybody, and then they just stay by themselves, like, or, oh, my kid loved to communicate with people, but now, like, they just stay in their own, like, space by themselves. They don't talk to anybody, and they stay by themselves. And then, and then like, their parents should, like, step up and then go talk to them about, like, what happened, what made you like this, and yeah, like what Joshua said, talk them out of it, and maybe brightness will come.
Okay. What about you, Joshua? What do you think?
Bring up a story to show you to back up what I'm about. Depression is a disease. Now you know you most people are just like, what is he saying right now? Depression is a disease? That's not a thing. Let me explain to you. Okay. So I remember being in a Bible study group with my mom, and I remember when we were teaching one of the lessons. It was about depression and people committing suicide. So we would wake up in early mornings, go to the church, and we'd speak about it. And depression is a disease. Depression is a disease, and you should go to the church because here, look. What do you take? You take pills for sickness, right? You take pills for a sickness. People take pills for depression, so it's basically a disease. So you should pray for them. You should take them to more Bible studies, take them to churches, and talk them out of it. Jesus is one of the people that can save you from depression. Yeah.
Very good.
Depression that eats you up in the inside until you can't take it no more. Most people that go through depression usually distance themselves because they feel like they have nobody to express their emotions to or nobody to talk to, and that's what leads to suicide because they have nobody to share their emotions with.
So, what does the Bible say about people who commit suicide? What do you guys think? What does the Bible said if someone commits suicide?
And it's at your cost.
hmm So, therefore, it shouldn't be something that.
So therefore, it shouldn't be something that you do. Like, at least try to talk to somebody, cause talking always makes you feel better. So at least try to talk to somebody, cause killing yourself does not make any relief. Killing yourself as a child, you're just putting pain on your parents, cause then your parents are gonna feel like, oh, I wasn't there for them, and then that's their mistake, and they're gonna feel like that's their mistake. Then they're gonna go through depression, and they can kill themselves too.
So, they created more problem instead of a solution.
Yeah, it creates a burden.
Okay.
Um, as Nephi said, you're destroying your temple, and it should not be allowed. Cause if you kill yourself, you're going straight to hell. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no, oh yeah, I believed in Jesus, so I'm going to, no, you're going straight to hell. And it should not be something that's supported or told on the daily basis. It's not something like that. And I forgot what I was about to say, but here, I'll give it.
Think about it, and then I'll pass it back to you. I think about a person like as like kids shouldn't even know what it is, or like be even thinking about like suicide and stuff, because if they're like thinking about suicide, you don't know what can happen next. Like as what Joshua said, you're going straight to hell. There's no heaven for you. Like there's no harmony there. It's just you're burning in your and you would be wishing that you could go back and fix that mistake that you made.
So, therefore, they should not be thinking about committed suicide.
Yeah.
Instead, find someone to talk to. And also, there's a hotline, there's suicidal hotline, depression. So, find someone to talk to because it's not a mean to an end. There's always resolution in every situation. So, if you feel sad, find someone, find a hotline to speak to someone, but it's not a mean to the end. We should always find a way um, to do something different from what we're doing right now. So I thank the kids for having that at the time that we've been talking to them. If you have any more questions, you feel welcome to do to have to send your questions, and the kids will be answering according to their own understanding of what the pandemic is about or the lockdown. So we wanted to have a conversation with them because we believe that they are affected as well, and we've seen there's a lot of kids who have not been talking. Instead, they go to the extreme where I posted something I found on Daily News where a kid, 17 years old, he went to a park and he committed suicide because he felt as though his grade was gonna be affected by it. So that's the reason it's very important to speak to your kids about what's going on and see exactly where they at. Don't think that it's because you're providing food, you're providing shelter to them, and that's it. Especially in our community, we feel as though kids are kids, but we are living in a different society where kids have their own thinking process. They have their own way of discerning certain things. They know what's going on, so they're not blind. They see and they know, and they worry just the same way we are worried about the future. They are worried about the same thing, and that's the reason we are having the conversation right now. So, you guys want to talk a little bit, or you want to do the conclusion where you talk a little bit about the COVID-19, COVID-19, what exactly it is, and what's been happening within the world. I'll give each one of you to kind of elaborate a little bit, and we're gonna be concluding.
I have a comment about the depression
The
side.
depression first.
Yes. Before someone commits suicide, they will send messages because they do not want to do it. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that they do not want. And as someone that's like a guardian or someone close to that person, stay attentive.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention, cuz I've heard many stories of someone that would give out so many opportunities for them to be stopped, but it just keeps going because everybody misses it, takes it as a joke. It's not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes people just don't care. It's not a joke.
Okay.
I think about the coronavirus that people should like like I'm happy about like that about this coronavirus because it brings people closer and people are able to like collaborate and talk about what they talk about what they should do about it while people like scientists and doctors are still trying to find a cure for it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are making fundraisers for masks. People are like YouTubers. They they do fundraisers for masks for like the surgeons and for people because people like the stores are running out of them
Mm-hmm.
and there might not be any more.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to donate to like the places and stuff so they can get the masks
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Okay, so you think that because of the coronavirus, a lot of people come closer instead of
Yeah.
distance,
Yeah.
especially families.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Josh?
Um, just be careful about the people that you surround yourself with, especially during these times. Coronavirus is something very dangerous because there's no cure. As Nene said, there is no cure yet, and hospital, it's not around. It's not around anymore. It's one of those things where you just gotta you can be with your family, you can be close to your family, stay close to your family, but it's something that you have to be careful. You have to be very aware of your surroundings and people that you surround yourself with because it's very dangerous at these times, especially going out at these times.
Mm-hmm.
One of those dangerous things because the most markets and stuff, they're crowded because of how many people are trying to grab the last bag of Cheerios, grab the last box of cinnamon toast crunch, stuff like that.
I have something to add. About the hospitals, yeah, try not to get hurt or anything. Like, like if you broke your ankle or something, if you don't try to get hurt because hospitals are packed with people that have coronavirus. Like they won't let anybody else in for other occasions. They're trying to help people with coronavirus, and people from different countries and states are trying to come together to um help people that have the coronavirus. And a doctor died from rushing to help a patient that came in 3 days later after she helped.
It's very sad.
Oh, I feel as Nini was saying, don't get hurt and please try not to get sick. Mostly because now, being treated for coronavirus is very expensive. So the hospitals can also lie and just feel your temperature, be like, oh, you have COVID, just to take your money out your pockets.
Okay. So do you guys like being home or no?
No,
Why not?
no.
Just
Um,
elaborate.
I don't like being home because now I'm more available to do things and I don't really have excuses. Like, I used to do sports a lot, so I used to come home late when everything was done, like all the chores, everything was done, and I would just be able to come home and relax. But now, since I'm home 24/7, I'm called for more chores and things to do.
At certain points I do like staying home because I have my chill days, and but still I feel trapped. I want to go play basketball with my friends. I haven't seen any of my friends in a while, and yeah, and parents, some parents themselves, they're tired of their kids staying home because they're just like, wow, when can my kid go to school so I can have my break, you know, have my free time, you know. Parents feel sometimes
Yeah,
some parents feel that way.
yeah. The only time parents are free is when their kids are at school. Yeah, and I like being at home because I can stay in my bed, take lots of naps, because it gets tiring walking up and down the halls and going around the school. And also, I like staying home because at least in the schools, if it was summertime or it was getting hotter, we would be sweating, and they don't they don't have a lot of air conditioners because they only have the heaters. So, and at home we have the air conditioner, and it's cool.
So you like being able to stay home.
Yeah, and you can spend time with your parents and bother them.
Okay. So that was our conversation in our house where we were talking about how the lockdown is affecting our children, not only us. And we talked about, how do they feel being home, about their homeworks, about not being able to see their teachers, not being able to see their friends. What do they think about the coronavirus? What it is exactly? What are the precautions that people need to take in order for them not to affect other people, especially young people right now? Most of them are very careless. They go out without mask. They go out without probably washing their hands, and it shows, according to research, more older people are dying from the disease, since they are more vulnerable and they have pre-existing conditions. So, according to the kids, you who are listening, young people, please put a mask on, wash your hands, take your clothes off, take precautions. Especially you have your grandmother, you have your parents who are in the house. They probably have conditions that you are not aware of. So you don't want to affect them because you're probably the carrier, and them they will receive it, they will get the disease. And we see that according to the poll that's been happening, at least 99 99,000 people, 99,000 people already lost their life throughout United States, and all over the world people have been losing their lives. So take precautions, talk to your kids. Don't think that they're not immune to what's going on. They know what's going on. They would like for you to have a conversation with them. Find a way, find time for them, even if it's once a week, once every 2 weeks. Make some popcorns and then sit down and talk to them, because they will give you so much information that you will never think of. And we thank you for watching. We thank you for being very attentive to what was going on. May you have a blessed day. May you have a blessed time where Joshua is gonna be playing one more music, and then Nehemiah will be singing for you guys, and from there on we'll be closing out with a prayer.
Lord, prepare me to be your sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be your living sanctuary, Lord of lights. Lord, prepare me to be your sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be your living sanctuary, Lord of us. So I want to do at the outing, and then they did the prayer. One more song.
Go ahead.
You are God from beginning to the end. There's no place for arguments. You are God all by yourself. Actually, close your eyes and bow your heads. Thank you, Father God, for everything you've done for us, Lord. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the family, oh Lord. Thank you for bringing us here today, O Lord, to worship you, O Lord. O Lord, you are Alpha and Omega, O Lord, the beginning and the end, O Lord. Whatever this coronavirus is doing to children, O Lord, I ask you to rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus, O Lord. I ask you to rebuke him in the name of Jesus, O Lord. And to the people that can't go to church anymore, O Lord, I ask you to find a way that we can still communicate, even though we're not able to go next to each other or speak to each other or go close to each other anymore. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. But before I finish, I'm Nehemiah Jean Pierre, and you just watched the Rivers of Living Water Ministries, Children's Ministries.
And
I'm Joshua Jean. Pray out. I'm Joshua Jean Pierre, and you have watched the Rivers of Living Water Ministries.
I'm Neftali Jean Pierre, and you have watched the Rivers of Living Water Ministries.
And I thank you very much for listening a conversations from the children on how they think they are affected with the lockdown and their own words, not telling them what to say. So everything, the informations that you've been provided, they are new to me too. I didn't know they have so much information. So you have children, sit with them, talk to them. they'll give you so much that you never think of. And we thank you from our home. May you have a blessed afternoon. And thank you, the cameraman who is passing again.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Mwah.